Hey folks, hi, this is Ambarish, and in this video we're going to see how to use the i6M basic UI, and I'll be showing you the menu of create menu, which I'll be using more, and just show the how to add physics and a few other things to your assets. I'll switch to the documentation page. This is the documentation I'll be using, and feel free to use the same thing. I'll be attaching this in the description, but you can also change the different version and use them as well. For this, I already have explained to you that we need a terminal and we go to the i6M repo or repository, yeah, that one. And we can open the i6M selector app, run them and wait for it to pop up. My kind suggestion is to use a Linux-based machine to run i6M if you have your own machine, because I have not worked with Windows, but I know for sure that it's going to have a lot of trouble working with it. So once the UI comes along, I can just show you around of what I'll be doing. And the reason this is kind of slow is because my machine has only like 32 GB RAM, and i6M expects 64 GB to run minimally well. My VRAM that is the graphic card is just 8 GB, and i6M would prefer around like 16 GB as minimum. So if you have a good machine, always run locally if you can, or else go to the cloud, which in the later videos I'll try to explain how to set up your own cloud environment. And yeah, we have our own setup here, and this is the stage plane where you'll see most of your assets which you import in the thing. Property plane, if you have to make any changes to the your assets, like say you have to increase the size, decrease the size, add physics, and most of things would be here. This one I would say generally has multiple tabs or multiple planes, which has a console plane where you'd see all console logs, content, which I've not used much. I think you can import stuff here, have your code here and look at your scripts, I think. And there are a few more tools that you should know. So window and i6M assets. This one is where you use to import your robots, but we'll not be using this. So right now we'll just focus on this particular tab or menu, which would be create, and we'll try to create a ground plane for our environment. You see, this would be a rectangle ground plane, and I can show you from the top view. So you can just go to perspective, change it to top, and then wait. Okay, I'm gonna change it again. I'm gonna move around. Now I can show you the top view. This should be a better. Okay, maybe I'm not able to get the right view. So this is your ground plane, and it already has physics and everything set up on it. What else do we need? In this tutorial, we would need some kind of light, because even though you can see lights right now in the simulation, it may not be able to see the lights, which is why we need the thing. And this is the F. If I go to our ground plane and click F, and we can go inside to see much more better and clearer. I'm using my right click and W key to move around. So if we use my right click, we can pan around and look around, while left click is used to select. If you click right click and use WASD, you can move around like gaming things. That's the whole thing. Let's try to create one shape in this environment. I would try to get in a cube. Yeah, you see the cube? We can look at the cube. So this is the cube, and to select the cube, we can just click on it, and there should be like in the left side, you see multiple icons, which one would be to like move it around, which is called translate, and one is to rotate, which is called orientation. The other one is called scale, which is to increase the size of the thing. So you can obviously select them to do the work, or you can also select them to like do different, like rotate them, scale them, things. Yeah, that's the whole thing we can do. And yeah, then I forgot to say, in property plane you would be able to change them as well. So I can move it around. If I change the orientation, translate it, and I'm gonna keep the orientation as 0. Yeah, so that this is cool. This is pretty chill, and that's it. Select. So yeah, now if you click play, I don't think the cube has nothing in it because there is no physics. If I scroll down, you would see there is no physics, right? Let's stop the simulation, add physics in the property plane. I have selected cube, then I go to physics, select rigid body with collider preset. This would give it some gravity so that the cube can fall down. And yeah, if I click play now, the cube should fall down. Yeah, you see it falling down. That's the whole thing. And in this video, maybe I can show you a few more things, like Windows should have something called as a viewport. I'm adding a viewport and you'll get two views. I'm going to change this view to have camera, meaning that in one view, I would see from a certain perspective, while other view, I can change it around. So I'm adding a camera and I'm going to change the perspective of this to a camera view. You see nothing here, but if I move it around, like say like this, I would be able to see a few more things. I'm going to move it around and wait, let's do this. Yeah, this is our camera. So I'm going to move this so that I can see the cube and go back. And yeah, why this is useful, you ask me, I would say that if you have a robot and you want to see the robot's point of view when it's moving, you can add camera to its head and just watch how the robot is moving and what it actually sees to debug and things like that. And that's all I have to say for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and ask me questions and things. And yeah, and I'm pretty sure now by now you know, like you can just drag and drop it here and the robot would be wait a minute. Yeah, the robot is up. I can zoom here and yeah, whatever imported robot I imported is there already. I'm going to close this viewport by going to Windows, turn off the viewport. Now you'd be able to see the other things. Yeah, iSexM is pretty cool and I'll be trying to add on more tutorials. The reason is I'm trying to learn myself. So if I teach more people, I feel like I would gain more knowledge. I'm not teaching, but just for my own sake. So yeah, thank you then. Have a nice day. Bye.